Blue Moon is brewed with Valencia orange peel and a touch of coriander. It's a creative twist on a Belgian-style wheat ale for a taste that shines brighter. Taste responsibly. Blue Moon Brewing Company, Golden, Colorado.
Coming up, Cristiano Ronaldo and Chicharito go head-to-head in the Confederations Cup. You'll get your money's worth watching these young guns in another tournament. Plus, there were late MLS comebacks, so don't leave early, or you might just regret it, because ESPN FC is next.
ESPN FC is presented by Heineken.
Well, welcome to the show then. Plenty to get through over the next hour. Shaka Hislop and Stevie Nicol alongside me. Hercules Gomez with us as well. Casey Keller will be with us in a moment, but we start off in Russia. Confederations Cup action today. Cristiano Ronaldo's Portugal taking on Chicharito's and Mexico. This will certainly be the best game we've seen in the tournament so far. 20 minutes into it. Cristiano Ronaldo's volley off the crossbar. The ball would eventually end up in the back of the net. However, of course, VAR being employed in this tournament, they would take it back to the initial free kick, in which Pepe is offside.
Well, there's only 4 of them, so it was a good call.
It was the right decision then by the video assistant referee. 15 minutes later, Portugal would once again have the ball in the back of the net. This time, it counted. Ricardo Quaresma with a finish.
Yeah, Cristiano Ronaldo just dodgy touch, to be honest. Miscontrols it, but then look at this for a pass. Completely splits open the defence. Quaresma, cool as you like, inside the keeper and pops it home.
8 minutes later, though, Carlos Vela with the ball into the box. It eventually finds its way into Chicharito, 1-1.
Yeah, Chicharito doing what he always does. Ever present in the box. Great snap down header. He's not going to miss from that distance.
And then on the stroke of half-time, Chicharito with the chance to make it 2-1. Ooh-yoy-yoy.
Wow. Raul Jimenez with the ball back to Hernandez. And let's be honest, you don't miss by any more than that ever, do you?
It's taken into the 86th minute where Portugal retake the lead.
Well, they're a little fortunate for me. Cedric here with a strike. Takes a deflection. Right there. And gives Ochoa in goal. Absolutely no chance. Cedric will take it, though, all day long.
However, Mexico would get a point from this game. The header coming in injury time.
Is that Sergio Ramos? Look at Hector Moreno doing his best Sergio Ramos impression. 90-plus minutes for the equalizer.
Ramos normally scores winners.
Leave Ramos
there we go.
alone.
Portugal 2, Mexico 2 then in Group B. Of course, on Saturday we saw Russia with that 2-0 victory over New Zealand. What do you make of this game, Hurt?
It was a strange game. I mean, Mexico dominated possession. Portugal didn't even look very interested. They had a few instances where they got to the Mexican opposition, counterattacked a couple times, and they ended up scoring twice. But Mexico clearly dominating possession, but weren't very good actually in front of goal. I think the tie was just. 2-2 was probably the just result, yes.
You agree?
It was a correct result, but I thought it was going to be a classic Portugal win again. You know, the way they won the Euros is exactly how they played in this game.
By the way, Portugal very underwhelming. A team of that, they just won the Euros, and to come in against a team like Mexico and put on that type of performance, very underwhelming.
They couldn't string 2 passes together. It was incredible.
Portugal didn't exactly light up the Euros. They almost won by default.
Yeah, but this is a team that, without Cristiano, beat France, mind you. You expected a lot more of this team. They looked very disinterested at times, very roots one. Mexico clearly dominated possession. 2-2 the just result, but it could have easily gone Portugal's way at the end.
Of course, meanwhile, all the talk around Portugal is the future of Cristiano Ronaldo after that story broke on Friday, saying that he wanted to leave. According to Tutu Sport, he's going to Manchester United. €210 De Gea and Morata, 210 million, sorry. 175 million, says the Mirror. Get me back to United, meanwhile, says the back page of The Sun. Shaka, when we start next season, where is Cristiano Ronaldo going to be?
Real Madrid. I don't think Cristiano Ronaldo moves. I think this is all to do with the situation, all to do with getting Real Madrid to defend him more sternly than maybe he believes they have. I just don't see Cristiano Ronaldo moving.
Now, here's the thing. It's been 72 hours since we were talking about that story on Friday. We've had no official statement from either party, which suggests, doesn't it, that something is going on here, that there is actually some truth to this rumour, because otherwise it's simple. Ronaldo comes out or Real Madrid come out, but neither have, which suggests that this might actually go deeper than we first thought.
I think you're looking way too deep into this, Dan.
I don't think...
honestly, no news means all the news.
I don't think I am.
You really expect just everybody to be talking and coming out with stuff,
In this instance,
absolutely
because
not.
it's so easy to do. If it was nonsense, why didn't Real Madrid come out and say it, or why didn't Ronaldo do it?
Listen, had it not been Manchester United, this transfer talk, then I might have thought about it. There is no way. Why would Cristiano Ronaldo want anything else to do with Jose Mourinho? The first time round at Real Madrid, they didn't see eye to eye. So why is he going to up sticks? Go back to Man United, put himself under more pressure, because United clearly aren't anywhere near Real Madrid, and also go back with Mourinho. It makes no sense to me at all.
What about some of this money that's been mentioned? 175 million plus De Gea. Is Ronaldo, is he worth that?
Absolutely.
He is as a 32-year-old.
Yes, Ronaldo's one of two players on this earth that would command that. And you look at Lionel Messi and Cristiano Ronaldo, anywhere he goes, he'd be worth upwards of that. De Gea is icing on you know.
But how long? Do you agree?
Well, listen, I agree because he would end up bringing the money back in short sales. So you know, that's the end of that story. Yeah. The fact is, Real Madrid won the Champions League because of Ronaldo. So you can't deny that. That means he is one of the two best players on the planet, even at 32. Is he in a little decline? Yes, he is. But we're talking his decline. We're not talking normal footballers here. We're talking a superstar.
Why would he want to leave on that team with Real Madrid? If he stays there, if they keep that team intact, he's got another 2-3 years where he can be considered the best player on earth over and over and over again. Those are just more awards.
Because he's upset about this whole tax situation, doesn't he?
It's just attention. That's all it is.
But attention for what reason?
Because it's Cristiano.
No, but it's not like you need a new contract. He just signed a new one in November. You got a 5-year deal. Apparently there was a phone call
wants them to
with Zinedine
him.
Zidane. Zidane rang him up, if you believe reports, saying stay. He said, no, I want to go.
I'm with the boys on this one. I don't see how or why he moves, even at that ridiculous sum. And no, it just doesn't add up.
Well, what is interesting, of course, with regards to Ronaldo's move away, many are suggesting that Kylian Mbappe then could move from Monaco to Real Madrid. According to the front page of Marca, the Spanish newspaper, I only want to play in Madrid, says Mbappe. Apparently he's told Monaco he wants to leave. He was hesitant at the fact that if he went to Real Madrid, he wouldn't necessarily play. However, if Ronaldo's going out the door, then that takes out the equation, doesn't it? Mbappe could start for Real Madrid.
Absolutely, 100%. He could start for Real Madrid. And I think he's quite right. Listen, if you're in the position he's in, you've got the pick of anybody you want to play for, you go to the best team. And right now, the best team is Real Madrid. And Real Madrid will be absolutely off the rocker if they don't get this done. Because, you know, as good as we're talking about Cristiano Ronaldo, he is in the decline. You get this guy, you've got a superstar for the next 7-8 years at least.
Hercules Gomez, thank you very much for being with us. We'll let you go. Early night for you. Coming up after the break, we'll be taking you through... Oh, just a moment. Herc will be doing another podcast tomorrow with Max. Be sure to check it out. Will it be available tomorrow?
Well, let's hope. Fingers crossed, boys.
Good. Really sell it. Thank you very much.
Jody Avergan here. Later this year, ESPN will bring you 30 for 30 podcasts. We're finding the best stories for you right now, and to do that, we're behind the wheel of the new Mini Countryman, the biggest Mini yet. With all 4 all-wheel drive, we can chase down a story in the city, the country, and most places in between. No matter what story you're chasing, the new Mini Countryman will help you find it. It's available now, and the new 30 for 30 podcasts are coming this June. Visit miniusa.com/new countryman.
Cameroon against Chile. Let's take you through that. Samuel Eto'o.
Hey, his phone gave him away.
Nice. Understated phone. Seconds into this game, Vargas with the effort off the post. And what about this? Ventalita with the lovely setup. Keeper makes the save.
was a very cultured clearance at the end there, wasn't it?
Well, I don't mind a defender just getting rid of that spot.
Cameroon would take the lead, or so they thought, in the 17th minute. The referee, though, disallows the goal because of this.
Yeah, you just can't grab people and throw them to the ground.
Why not?
Sometimes you can get away with it, but you didn't on that occasion.
Then, the stroke of half-time, in injury time in the first half, the ball ends up in the back of the net. It's a goal. Because it's a goal, the referee has to check the VAR system. It suggests he needs to have a look at the TV replay. Is he offside?
No. He's onside. No question.
No question?
No question.
It's close.
I think it's close. I'm thinking it's off.
The goal was disallowed. Offside. Vidal then would make it 1-0.
At least there's no question
No
about
question
that.
about that one.
That
was a great
That
header.
Vidal just sneaking in at the back post. Nice header.
This one would finish 2-0 again. VAR would be called into action. Alexis Sanchez with some nice skills. Vargas in the end putting it into the back of the net. Alexis Sanchez certainly looks offside, but the goal in the end stands.
Yep. Defender at the top
Man
of
in
the
far
screen.
post, giving him more. He's on.
Yeah. There you go. So it finishes Cameroon 0, Chile 2. Chile then with a victory in Group B. Just having a look at how things stand. Of course, Australia meeting Germany later in the week. That is on Monday. VAR, obviously, is going to have some teething problems. What do we make of it so far? Stevie, I feel compelled to go to you first.
Well, we were told that unless it was obvious, they were going to leave things alone. But you saw in the Vargas goal, we're even arguing, having a look at the replay. I think it's on, Xhaka thinks it's off. What do you do in that situation? I don't think they actually know what to do. It's one thing to say, if it's tight, we're going to leave it alone. But surely having it, you have to try and get the right decision, whether it's tight or not.
This is the thing, isn't it? You're only supposed to refer to VAR if it's a clear and obvious mistake.
Right.
But inevitably, because of the way in which this sport works, you know, you're going to take it back to these incidents, and if it is going to be close like that, you have to make a decision on it, don't you?
Yes, and this was always the issue with introducing video technology, that it wouldn't go the way of cricket, for example, in England, where every single decision is referred to video replay. That's what you're trying to avoid. And as far as I'm concerned, I think the protocol should be, unless it's a clear miscarriage of justice, for want of a better term, then the call on the pitch stands. But it seems as though, as long as there's any doubt, refer to the referee in the middle, which is going against everything that was discussed in introducing this technology.
But you take a look at it, obviously, it's going to have its problems, but then you look at those blatant errors in the LA game and the New York game, then it's got to be better us talking about these narrow little offside decisions, isn't it?
Right. But
than what we're seeing in MLS this weekend.
In the end, you want the right decision. I think that's what players want.
Absolutely.
You want to be able to sit in the locker room and go, well, okay, maybe at different times we've been benefited because of a bad call or whatever else. But I think everybody honestly wants to sit down and say the right decisions were made. Can we clean that up? And obviously, I think that the question mark comes is when you do have the situation where
and it's going to come
who
more,
knows?
isn't it? Offsides and, for example, handballs as well.
Right.
I think what will happen is there'll be a meeting in the middle, as invariably happens when you have new technologies, new laws introduced. You don't want bad decisions, but you don't want the incessant stopping and every single play or every goal reviewed. But
every goal's going to be reviewed, Chan. This is part and parcel of it, isn't it?
You don't want every goal reviewed on the field.
Right. Someone's going to look at it and go, don't even worry about it.
And what happens,
great goal.
In time, as we get more used to it, eventually you meet in the middle what makes sense to both sides, which kind of goes back to what I've been saying all along. I still think it's a little too early to be introducing VAR in official competition. I still think there's a lot of work to be done. It's a good technology. It will help the game, but it's not complete. It's not finalized yet.
But how strange is it that MLS is going to start the VAR 2/3 of the way through the season. I mean, that one shocks me a little bit too, because maybe some teams have 12 games left and some teams have 9 games left, and that one's a little odd for me.
I thought you'd answer that, Casey.
No, I can't answer that one.
Right, Donnarumma, of course, has been the centre of a lot of speculation, a lot of talk about the fact that he doesn't want to sign a new contract. He wants to move on. If you were an 18-year-old at this stage, what would you do, Shaq?
If I was 18-year-old and being courted by the clubs that are reportedly courting Gigi Donnarumma, I have no problem with it. You're still not quite sold on the direction that AC Milan are going, despite new ownership. They're yet to make any significant waves in the transfer market. And then everybody wants Donnarumma. It's Milan's own fault for letting him to come within a year of his contract running out.
How would you react, Casey, if you had money thrown at you and that sort of,
I think it would be kind of funny, actually, a little bit.
But even at 18, you're not intimidated
it's
by
obviously,
all,
it's a little distracting, let's say. But I think the whole saga is going to be distracting.
Yes.
If he's going to go a whole year at AC Milan without signing a new contract, and has he been threatened with not playing? Yeah. Has he not been threatened? What is going on? But in the end, if he does have to play a year, let that contract go out with the fans behind him for a whole season. He's going to have a lot more than just that thrown out.
I don't see how he can play a year now. I don't see, given the rhetoric, given the reaction of the fans, given the fact that if AC Milan do let him wait a year, that's a lot of money they're out. Yep. Again, despite new ownership and a new injection of cash, I don't think anybody turns their back on whatever it is Donnarumma can command.
You're listening to Love Advice with Leanne. Caller, you're on the air.
Hi, Leanne. Long-time listener, first-time caller. Why, in your professional opinion, do you never take my calls off the air?
Is this Carl?
Yep, it's Carl. I mean, we had a few dates. Everything was great. I thought,
Well, when you switch to Geico, you could save a lot of money on car insurance.
Okay, awesome.
You should call them.
I will.
Geico, because saving 15% or more on car insurance is always a great answer.
Shaka, Casey, and Stevie. An interesting weekend with regards to a committee that you sit on, Shaq. Reports leak that IFAB are looking at a big rule change from 45-minute halves to 30-minute, but the clock will stop every time the ball goes out of play.
Well, there's nothing about this I like. I don't think it's warranted. First of all, as far as the time goes and timekeeping, in my opinion, it's not broke. Why bother to fix it?
Well, it is broke, isn't it? Because you're not getting as much action as people want.
But the talk is, the averages are somewhere between 54 and 57 minutes, and you want to have a clock that stops to give you 60. So by my estimation, that's a 4% increase. I don't think a huge rule overhaul warrants a 4% change. But then what you do have is players taking longer in between breaks, and you have incessant stops, and the referee also loses any logical authority to hurry players up or to book them for time wasting. I just think players will find a way to delay games, delay breaks, and make the game more stop-start than it is right now. I don't see how this works well at all.
Well, then what do you do with every youth game? Do you have a fourth official with a separate stop clock that's stopping every time it goes out, every time it goes? I mean, I know, look, I played basketball as a kid, and you played youth basketball, and there was a clock and a timer. And so would you have to do that for every youth pitch around the world? You'd have to have special timer and clock and official score, timekeeper. And, it's going to open up some interesting dilemmas.
Since this show started, certainly since I've ever been on it, how many times have we ever talked about how players waste so much time?
Yeah.
Never.
No.
We've never once had a show on it, ever. And why is that? Because you don't need to. So why are you going radically changing rules for something that, quite frankly, I don't think is needed?
The amazing thing for me is IFAB says they're a conservative body. They don't change laws just for changing laws' sake. It has to be warranted. There is nothing about this that says football is screaming out for it. I think this is just a floating of ideas, just a gaugy response. I don't think the game needs it. The game's perfect as it is.
Look at some of the rules that were changed. And one of them obviously highly affected you and I, and that's the back pass rule for the goalkeeper.
Really well,
And it was a brilliant rule change. It really sped the game up. It moved it that way. simple things like kickoff, just kicking it straight back. Okay, big deal. It's not a big deal. This is a big overhaul.
It is a big overhaul. Shaq, you'd be in trouble. Welcome then to Extra Time. Thanks for your tweets. Aubameyang to Liverpool. Should I buy the rumours?
Oh, they should. Go and buy this shoot just in case.
Hey, listen.
It's a lot of letters.
If Aubameyang goes to Liverpool, I will be absolutely delighted.
Well, obviously.
But it's not happening.
So you're not buying it. You're not buying the
Why would Aubameyang pick Liverpool over any other team?
Champions League. Jurgen Klopp.
Pay him a lot more money.
Anfield. Steve Nicol.
Gets a book.
I can sign a book for one of
Yeah,
my
he gets a book because he can get a book.
Sign a book.
He can get a
You'd
book.
still charge him, though.
Yeah, listen, I'd love to see it happening, but I don't believe it's going to happen, Daniel.
Okay, thank you very much, Stephen.
Anybody at all.
Oh, all right, okay. What's the most interesting topic in football from this weekend that isn't VAR, Ronaldo's tax evasion, or a transfer rumour? That narrows the field slightly.
Aubameyang to Liverpool.
Or
Aubameyang. That's all right. Casey?
We were all kind of laughing a little bit as we were watching the highlights from the Red Bull Philadelphia match as Jesse Marsch starts waving as he's leaving in the middle of the game to go on a coaching course somewhere. But
it was right at the end of the game, to be fair. It wasn't like...
Okay. What do you mean? It's not a pub team. It's not the dog and duck.
We argue and argue that we want MLS to rise to the level of the other sports in America plus the other big leagues. When was the last time you saw an NFL coach leave in the middle of a match to go up? I gotta go now, and wave to the fans.
I've got a flight to catch. I've got a flight to catch, everybody.
We all want credibility. We all want this league to be as big as it can possibly be. And how can we be taken serious if coaches are leaving in the middle of a match? I'm sorry.
I'm told he did get the plane.
He made the plane?
Made the plane.
Oh, well,
so
then
it's wild then.
It's all good.
Joke.
No problem.
Joke. Stevie, another Liverpool question. Coutinho or Christian Eriksen?
Oh. Yeah, Stevie that.
The last time I heard, I didn't hear Christian Eriksen being mentioned in the same breath as Barcelona. Coutinho has been.
Oh, wow.
So I think
Christian Eriksen has been.
Your question.
Christian Eriksen has been linked to Barcelona.
Oh, yeah, right.
No, he has, honestly.
Yeah, why?
Well, I don't know, because they need someone like that.
Well, I think I've answered the question.
With Dane? They need a Dane?
Well, he hadn't heard about Christian Eriksen.
As good as Christian Eriksen is, you're taking Coutinho over Eriksen.
But Eriksen had better numbers last year, didn't he?
Oh, you want to do a stats game? Well,
let's
play a wee stats game now.
Shaka.
Yeah?
Do you think Dani Alves is the right player for Manchester City?
Dani Alves graces any team he plays for. And City are in desperate need of defensive reinforcements, regardless.
For a one-season job, you imagine?
All day long.
Defensive, did you say that?
Oh, yeah. I mean, he's going to do a great job overlapping on the attack.
Yeah,
but is he going to
you know.
So would you not have Dani Alves?
Absolutely.
Oh.
As long as he doesn't have to defend, he's all right.
Where do you play him?
Defender.
I cleared that up.
Would you have Dani Alves or Klein?
Is that a serious question? I mean, really?
Hey, I'm just asking.
Is that a serious question?
Just asking, Stevie.
Oh, where you going?
He asked it.
I'm not even going to answer.
For a moment, you almost asked.
No, I was like, you're really, really asking me that.
Almost got you. Is the Donnarumma abuse fair?
No. It's ridiculous.
You have the right to not sign a contract. You have the right to be given the contract you think you deserve, and if you disagree with it, don't sign the contract.
We've been talking about Donnarumma for 2 seasons.
Yes.
You're getting new investment way back in January, February. It doesn't dawn on you, hold on a minute.
We should secure this guy up for a few years.
He's got 18 months left. Maybe we should do something about this. It's idiotic on AC Milan's part. Donnarumma is just doing what any footballer would.
Perfect. All right, then. That is it. That brings us to the end of Extra Time. ESPN FC back on your screens tomorrow, 6 p.m. Eastern on ESPN News. So